Good morning, Swagatika. Good morning, Chaitanya, Shweta. So, can I begin? Can office give me a confirmation? How are things going on with the preparation with other things? Good morning, Mr. Manoj.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
This
How are you, ma'am?
morning. Yeah, I'm also good. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So, if you permit, I would uh, have some words for the students. And then perhaps the show will be yours. You are the showstopper.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful morning here, ma'am.
very good. Pretty much sunny, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining, students. And I also thank the technical team for arranging this particular webinar for us. And this morning, yeah, if at all any of you do not know me, I want to introduce myself. I am Sosin Revella. I am the founder director of Sosin Academy. Basically, today I wanted to interact with the students to talk about a few things. This is something like a heart-to-heart talk. We understand that uh, UPSC journey is highly an emotional journey. I hope you accept this. It's not simply on the front of emotions, but also it is an economic journey. It is a social commitment journey. So many stakes are involved with this particular exam. I hope you accept this particular thing. And see what this in this particular field, I have been there for more than 20 years. I started teaching, I started guiding students much young in age, and now it's more than 20 years I've been in this particular field. And I have seen people, going through tremendous amount of stress. Many of them, getting through the exam, and several of them not being able to make through the exam. Reasons could be very many. Reasons could be from the family front to the academics and whatnot. Now, of late, I mean, for the last few years, what I have been witnessing in this particular field is that the expenses one has to incur. I'm in the class. The expenses one has to incur are extremely huge, and they are leading to a huge trial for the family, for the students. And after having spent so much of amount, after having spent so much of money and time, at the end of the day, students come with very basic questions that, I couldn't complete the syllabus, or I do not know how to write an answer. I am not really confident to touch the pen to write the answer. And moreover, so many years go by in the preparation, giving a challenge to the student at the mental level. These are all practical things, and I'm sure many of the viewers, many of the audiences accept this. And hence, after a lot of thinking, I came up with a couple of very uh, result-oriented, very affordable and student-friendly programs. And I'm very happy that you have joined to listen to me. And this talk that we are going to have, this webinar that we are going to have, I'm dividing it into two parts. The first few minutes I will be talking to you, explaining to you what my vision of this program is all about. And then my colleague, Mr. Manoj, is going to talk about how exactly we do the mentorship program. He will also be taking a few questions to explain to you in order to help you understand the approach of socializing. Now, having said that, let me bring to you something. Thank you for joining. This is today, 15th of February. So we are talking about two things primarily. One is the self-study program with mentorship. So there are two things here. The first one is the self-study program. I mean, the word looks very, very interesting. All of you young people, you have been seeing huge volume of information that is loaded in the online platforms. And that tempts us to say, okay, I would do this myself. And that's the catch here. When you would want to go for the self-study program, absolutely self-study is extremely challenging. Unless otherwise you have a mentor on your side, your brother, your sister, your somebody, or your friend who must have cracked the exam or faced the exam to a particular level, etc. But then, yeah, I strongly recommend to the students to go for a self-study program with a mix of other things. I'll tell you what I'm going to provide to you as a part of this particular program. Now, the first thing I am trying to bring to you is the self-study program, wherein I am giving you three major things as a part of the initiative. The first and foremost thing is the moment you decide that you want to go in for the self-study program, we would assess the student's status in the preparedness for the exam, meaning some of you might be having a relatively appreciable knowledge in maybe a couple of subjects. In certain other subjects, you may not be having, any kind of information, any kind of knowledge. So we, as a team, our mentors and myself and the student who would want to go for this, we would have an assessment of which are your weak areas, which are your strong areas. Because you see, when you would want to have a self-steering kind of a journey, I do not want to leave your hand just like that and say that, okay, you do yourself. No. You would be doing certain bit of things. Say, for example, the major problem that you would be having is some of the programs that I'm trying to list out here. Namely, you may have a problem with identifying where exactly I should start from. Should I start with geography, economy, history, whatsoever, and which I have left long, long, long time ago in my school? And what is the best sequence I should go with? Because if the student starts with one subject, he would be confused. He would be thinking about what if I lose on the other. Why I should also be doing economy if I'm doing geography here. What would happen to my polity segment? How exactly I'm going to do my current affairs? So many questions. So what should be the sequence in which I should be doing? And much more trickier thing is how much time I should spend. How much time I should spend on each of these segments. See, if I'm a novice person, I might perhaps start with saying that, okay, geography is interesting for me. I would start with that. And 6 months of time I spent with geography. And what is happening with the others? And some other questions such as how exactly I should be making a note, what should be the reference books, basic books that I should be having, what advanced level books I should be doing. You're getting my point. These are all various things, and hence what I would do is I would give you a study program and I would give you the basic mentor support, meaning, say for example, your program of self-study for this year, tentatively these are the numbers, because I want the student to have an overall preparation. And this entire lecture series, you can see the number of classes coming to about 290 or so. And I will also be adding to this certain other things which I will tell you. So basically, this is the big chunk of it, about 280 plus. I would have certain NCRT lectures, various other topics, as you could see there. Now, the mentor would suggest to you from where to start. And based on that, weekly schedule would be fixed for you. This week, you are going to study this. And whatever doubts you have, you would clarify with the mentor. And then, as you could see in the second, third column there, based on whatever you are completing on your portal, you are going to have certain tests that you will be attempting. And time to time, you would be in touch with us to understand what would be the next thing that I should be doing, kind of. And the mentor will also try to help out with the basic books that you are supposed to study, what are the advanced books that you should be studying. So all this, as a part of the program, he would be helping you out. There is something else that I would be adding eventually, that is the open source information, about which I'm going to talk towards the end of my talk. So this is the first program, actually, the self-study program, which consists of assessment of your strengths, weaknesses, suggesting the sequences, providing you with the lectures, and providing you with the online test that you are going to write there, and then open source information, which I am going to give you. All this you would be able to have at a very, very affordable price of 15,000 rupees. And this very course, wherever you go in the country, you would be charged about not less than 1.5 lakhs. There are people who spend a couple of lakhs also. You must be wondering why. Because we are doing this on the CSR lines, and then we are looking for the maximum benefit that we can give to the students in this particular format. There is the second one. The second program is self-study coupled with the mentorship program. This is a very, very beautiful program. What we would be doing in this program is we will provide you with every weekly. I mean, the mentorship program will be much more rigorous and intensive here. You are constantly being bogged up by your mentors. So at the end of every week, of course, you have on the platform, there are certain question papers given to you, which you would be writing, which you would be doing for a self-assessment things, etc. But in a program where mentorship is dovetailed with the self-study, there are going to be weekly tests that from time to time we would be conducting, incorporating the current developments, etc. And every fortnightly, you are going to have the current affairs discussions live as well as in the classroom. And if at all you are exclusively on the online program, you would have access to those lectures online. So basically, the focus here is, as a part of the mentorship program, there are a few things that we are doing, namely, as you could see there are 6, 7 major things, each of them. Say, for example, when we are talking about knowledge, I know, as I said earlier, the problem of this generation is too much of content that is there everywhere around. And the student having a high level of confusion about what to choose, what not to choose, etc. So the first thing that we give is the lectures that you would be completing. Second thing is the mentors, whoever are assigned to you, we would be providing you with the sources such as the websites that you are supposed to study, and we would help you out to what depth you are supposed to do, what kind of journals, magazines, etc. Wherever necessary, we would be providing you with the synopsis of them. So it is like giving you a helping hand throughout your journey. starting from your pre to main to interview. The dedicated mentor would be helping out. So we would give you the sequence of study. You are going to do your weekly classes on the portal. You would keep in touch with your mentor who is going to evaluate your prelim and main. That's very, very important because as we see the trend in UPSC, the time between the prelim and main is getting narrowed down. So you cannot think that, okay, let me clear the prelim this year and then I would start studying for the main. That doesn't work out. Examination pattern, the questions that are being asked are also bringing together both prelim and main. And hence the ideal thing that I tell the student is the year when you're going to write your preliminary exam, your mains preparation should also be completed by the time you give the prelim. And hence, right from the first week onwards, you are put on a rigorous writing program because this is what I see in many of the students. That is, not having developed the ability to write the answers. This is a very sorry state of affairs. And the very basic level of writing also, I don't see in them. People attend the classes year long, and if I give the question, they're not able to answer. And this is what is my whole and sole purpose. You should be given a direction. You should be informed of what are the literature, what are the sources that you should prepare from. Whether that is journals, websites from where you are supposed to study, the government ministries, government organizations, attached offices, etc. And that help is going to be provided by us. And second thing is, so apart from the knowledge, the second thing that you would be having from us is a proper goal-oriented study. So every week, every fortnightly, what is it that you are supposed to complete? And based on that, we would be conducting tests for you in order to properly enhance from time to time your ability to handle the questions. And that's what I was talking about, the testing, both in the prelim and the main orientedness. Right from the beginning, right from the first week. Because many students think that, okay, I did not learn much in this week, what will I write? Whatever little that you have learned that week, you are supposed to write both in the prelim and the main orientation. Some students, they focus more on the prelim, they would not write much on the main. We try to give that balance to you. So your mentor is going to meet you on a regular basis, giving proper tests to you of the UPSC orientation. This forms the key of the program. And it is not simply conducting the test, a proper review of the program, of the questions that you are attempting, giving evaluation, giving value addition to what you have written. And yeah, this is what it is. Once you write, you might be looking for how to remember this, to what depth I have to write, and what are the tips, what kind of mind maps. You understand? This guidance and support forms the core of the mentorship. And yes, this is what the key. Motivation levels keep fluctuating when you're preparing for the exam. And people keep asking me how to keep ourselves motivated throughout. See, there has to be, of course, a fire in the belly, but sometimes how much ever fire is there in the belly, the fire fails to motivate you. There needs to be an external support. And I think that's where we come to your help. Sometimes you need a teacher to express your fears, to help you out, to talk to them, to see, to modify the program that you might have thought, okay, I wanted to do this first, but what do you think I should be changing? I will do something else. See, when I'm really in the low, what do you think are the program or the chapters, the topics that I should be doing? Because you see, every day is important. And sometimes, knowingly, fully knowingly, for a week or so, you did not touch your newspaper. So I was talking about, providing you with the required motivation. That's where, we come into picture. So as a part of the second program, you are going to have the self-study as well as a long-term mentorship that is going to be there throughout your preparation. And I wanted to announce in this webinar very soon we are going to have one more beautiful thing that is going to come up, namely, I'm going to come up with the source in AI. As a part of it, you are going to have several facilities as a student of Source Academy. You're going to have the most interesting things, that is unlimited questions that you can practice both in the prelim and in the main. Apart from that, we are going to provide through the AI-based learning, whatever latest updates are there, any kind of information that you would want to have, a tailor-made information. And the core area that I always want the students to go with, that is the unlimited test writing and evaluation. This is going to help you extremely positively in order to see to it that, see, when you're starting to study, you would go with an idea that I would want to clear in the first attempt itself. And that is where we actually would want to help you out. Now, these are the two programs. One is the self-study program. The second one is intensive mentorship with the self-study. And as a part of the mentorship program, how exactly we are going to deal with, my colleague Manoj is going to talk to you now for some time. And yeah, all the very best to you. I would catch up soon. Thank you so much.
In the self-study, you have got the view on how to acquire knowledge for preparing for civil services. So the knowledge component is taken care in the self-study part. But how to utilize that knowledge to gain good marks in your preliminary and mains examination is tackled in mentorship program. Okay, so this self-study along with mentorship makes your preparation holistic in nature. Okay, here you acquire the skill to utilize the knowledge to tackle the questions. Okay, so in order to showcase how your knowledge can be used to tackle the questions, we will start with an activity. So what can be that activity? Here is a question, okay, a mains question, a question on UPSC mains, and this question you can try to answer. I would ask you to brainstorm or write for 2 to 3 minutes. Then I will discuss how to approach this answer, approach this question. So you can take 2 to 3 minutes. See, you should organize your thoughts under 3 dimensions, okay? You should organize your thoughts under introduction, body of the answer, and conclusion. Okay, so under these 3 dimensions, please organize your points. Then I will discuss. Please brainstorm and write points also. Okay, you have another 2 minutes with you. Then we will have a detailed discussion on how to tackle this question so that you can garner maximum marks in your mains answers. I will show you how to utilize the knowledge you will gain to get good marks. You have another 30 seconds to witness the skill you would acquire that will lead you to gain good marks. Okay, let's start. Okay, so see, what is the question here? The question says, one nation, one election is an electorally efficient reform in a multi-tiered governance system like India and would transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. Analyze. It's a question on 15 marks, for 15 marks. And it's a question on what topic? First, you need to identify the central theme in the question. The central theme in the question is one nation. The central theme is one nation, one election. If you are a follower of current affairs, you would have witnessed that in December, the central government introduced a bill in Lok Sabha to uh, to organize elections simultaneously for both Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. So in that context, we have given this question. So now, what on what topic introduction will be there? Okay, introduction will be on the central theme of the question. The central theme of the question is one nation, one election. Okay, so then what you will write further in introduction? Okay, see in the question it is like one nation, one election is an electorally efficient reform in a multi-tiered governance system. So this is a keyword in the question. So you need to focus your answer on this also. Okay, like India, and it would transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. Analyze. Okay, so you have to analyze this statement. In order to analyze the statement, you need to break the question into multiple parts. Okay, so here you see what can be the subheadings, means every body will have different subheadings. That is how you break the question into multiple parts. Here if you see, there is something called it would transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. So your answer should be whether you agree with this point or you don't agree with this point. Okay, when you agree with this point, you will write points in support of this argument, and when you are not agreeing with this point, you will write points in against this argument. Okay, so here we should write points both in agreement and also the challenges that are posed, means the negative aspects of this one nation, one election, and then we should recommend certain measures in a balanced way. Okay, so here if you see, one nation, one election is an electorally efficient. So here first thing you should do is in introduction. Okay, in introduction you need to describe about one nation, one election. Okay, what is one nation, one election? One nation, one election aims to restructure. See, your introduction should be very short. It should not exceed more than 15 to 20 words. Okay, restructure Indian election cycle to synchronize elections to Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly in such a way that voter casts their vote, voters cast their vote on a single day and at same time. See, here there is certain words that are used like synchronized, cast their vote on a single day and at same time. These are the key words that describes one nation, one election. So this should be your introduction. Okay, this will communicate to the examiner that you have understood the concept very well and you are in a position to explain it in a very brief manner. Okay, then now you see, now we need to write an extension of this introduction targeting this multi-tiered governance system. This word has to be given some description in the answer. Okay, for that what we will write? So in a multi-tiered governance system like India, there is clear demarcation of powers between central, state and local government, and the voter casts their vote based on different parameters like party affiliation, okay, then candidate profile, okay, ideology, or socio-economic conditions specific to the constituency. Okay. So you see, you have now addressed the answer till this point, from here till here. Now the question is saying it would transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. Now you need to write points whether it will transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. So here you will take us, now you are entering into the body of the answer. In the body of the answer, you are giving two subheadings. Okay, one is it would transform India. Okay, and another subheading. What will be the another subheading? The challenges that will emerge. Challenges in the new system or one nation, one election system. Okay. And under this also, it would transform India. How it will transform India? It will transform India into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. So, what you need to do? You need to write points in support of stable democracy, efficient democracy. So, let's continue. Here you see, we have to write points in supporting stable democracy, efficient democracy and accountable democracy. So see, the key is given within the question itself. Okay, and then how these challenges are posing to stability of democracy. So again here also you have to write the challenges in the context of stable democracy, efficient democracy and accountable democracy. So on these lines you have to classify your points on these lines and write in your answer. Okay. So now you see, let's enter into the body of the question. First is would transform India. Under this you need to write your points. This is the first, under the body, this is the first subheading. So number 1, it is transforming stable democracy. You will write like this. Okay. Now under this you will explain how stable democracy is achieved using this. So what one nation, one election will primarily do? It will establish stable governments at both central and state level. Okay. Now we will write another point to support our argument for stable democracy. You see, if there are frequent elections, so when there are frequent elections, what happens? When there are frequent elections, there is deepening of fault lines in the society. What do you mean by fault lines in the society? Fault lines in the society means the divisions we have in the society based on caste, religion, ethnicity or anything. Okay? So, when there are deepening of fault lines in the societies, when there are deepening of fault lines in the society, what will happen? There will be, it will aggravate or adversely impact, it will aggravate caste violence or casteism, communalism, etc. That is, it can aggravate any division based on primordial identities. Okay? Then also, when there are frequent elections, what happens? There will be more usage of money to buy votes. You know, money is used to buy votes in India's elections. This will require funding. And how this funding is raised? This funding is raised from the corporates. Okay? And when the government will come, what it will do? It will favor that corporate companies which have funded it. So this will lead to crony capitalism. Okay? And also, when more money is involved to buy votes, what the political party in power will do? It will resort to corruption. So there will be rampant corruption in the country. Okay? So these factors will, what they will do? These factors will destabilize our democracy. They are destabilizing our democracy. So when you go for simultaneous elections, this whole phenomenon is there, no? This will be tackled. So it will contribute to formation of a stable democracy. Okay? These are certain points we have given in support of stable democracy. Now you see, what is the next dimension we need to explore? That it will transform India into an efficient democracy. You have to write points in support of this thing now. So see, next is efficient democracy. How it is transforming into efficient democracy? We have to support our arguments. We will take observations of some legitimate institutions or legitimate committees to give authenticity to our points. How we will do? Suppose there is an organization you might be knowing, Election Commission of India. So as per Election Commission of India, 25% of India is under election every year. So what happens when this significant percentage of India is under election every year? The election machinery is perpetually active. And when election machinery is perpetually active, what will happen? The focus of the government is moving away from good governance and is shifting to win elections. Okay? So what will happen when the focus is not on good governance and on winning elections? What will happen? There will not be, this will lead to a situation where no proper implementation of developmental activities. Okay, this is one point in which you can substantiate. Election Commission of India is stating this fact. Because of this, we are deriving this situation. So you are saying that in the situation of frequent elections, the democracy is not functioning in an efficient manner. So one point you have said. We can write more points also. Okay. What can be the other point? Another observation. Another observation is given by Niti Aayog. What Niti Aayog says? Niti Aayog says that in India, every year we witness, India is witnessing 4 to 5 assembly elections every year. Because of this, what happens? There is repeated enforcement of model code of conduct. And when there is model code of conduct, what happens? The administrative activity, which is limited in the sense that there is no major policy making, no new schemes, okay, delay in appointments, delay in key appointments, delay in transfers. So what happens? All these things leads to governance deficit. Okay. So this is another phenomena that shows that it is leading to, frequent elections are leading to inefficient democracy. Okay. We can add one more point. Okay. See, when there are frequent elections, what is happening is government is drafting of more populist policies. Okay. Because of this, what is happening? When there is drafting of more populist policy, what the political class prefers? Political class prefers, preference is given to what? Short-term, visible policies over long-term policies. Okay. This is, we have a statement from Janata Janardhan. India is the largest democracy in the world. Democracy means for the people, by the people, of the people, in democracy, have the supreme power. If the country has single election, there will be no chaos, stating that the center is more favorable towards a particular state, the process of election will be little easy. So see, Janata Janardhan, you have given the definition for democracy. You are talking about democracy. But we are not talking about democracy here. Here we are talking about how the democracy functions under one nation, one election. How the democracy used to function when there were no simultaneous elections. Okay. There is some problem in the functioning of the democracy. So that is why we are bringing a new system within the democracy. So your focus should be on explaining what is one nation, one election, not the democracy. Okay. Next, if the entire country has single election, there will be no chaos, stating that center is more favorable towards a particular state, the process of election will be little easy. So see, the statement you have given, no, the process of election will be little easy. These kind of words are used in common man language. Okay, in commonly we use these things. But when you are writing your mains answer, you need to bring in certain keywords. Okay, like governance deficit, you see populist policy, long-term policy, visible policies, short-term policy. With these keywords, you need to manufacture your answer. Otherwise, what will happen is you will not gain good marks. Okay. So coming back to, you can again, if the people have any other doubts or any other questions, they can send me through the chat. Now you see, continuing this, preference is given to short-term visible policies over long-term policies. With this, what is happening? There is rampant freebies. Okay, and according to Supreme Court in Subramanian Balaji versus Government of Tamil Nadu case in 2013, use of rampant freebies to garner votes is against conduct of free and fair elections. Okay, conduct of free and fair elections is the fundamental thing for a democracy, for a mature democracy. So when you are going for rampant freebies, what will happen? It is not related to free and fair elections. Okay. Okay. So this is one more thing. You can add one more point. Okay. When there is frequent elections, what is happening? It is having high cost to the government exchequer. Government exchequer means, okay, the government treasury. Okay. So when you are going for simultaneous elections, you will save certain capital. Okay. You will save certain money. Capital is saved. And this saving can be deployed for critical sectors like, this saving can be deployed for development of critical sectors like health, education, okay, and infrastructure, etc. Okay. Another point, when there is frequent elections, there is high logistical burden on administrative staff and security forces. Okay. When you are going for simultaneous elections, what will happen? You can reallocate this human resource. You can reallocate this human resource for overall governance. Okay. So see, you have given so many points for supporting that simultaneous elections or one nation, one election will lead to efficient democracy. Now, what is the next key in the question? You have substantiated stable democracy, you have substantiated efficient democracy, and you have to substantiate accountable democracy. Now see, next. Now we will go and talk about third one, accountable democracy. See, how do you make a government accountable? Okay, when the citizens participate in governance, participatory governance is there, then citizens will make the government accountable. But you see, in India, because of frequent elections, what is happening? Frequent elections, because of frequent elections, what is happening? This is leading to voter fatigue. Okay? Because of voter fatigue, they are not proactively coming, and they are not proactively participating. And this is manifested in what? Low voter turnout. You see, when elections are there, the voter turnout is low. Okay? When voter turnout is low, what will happen? They are not participating. So it is, what it is doing? It is actually diluting the accountability. Okay? So see, now we have also substantiated how simultaneous elections will lead to accountable democracy, because now what will happen? The voter fatigue will reduce. When there is one nation, one election, they will come out in more numbers and they will vote. So they will make the government more accountable. But in frequent elections, there is more voter fatigue, they are not proactively participating, and it is leading to low voter turnout. So this issue can be tackled. Okay? Now, before going further, now what we have to do? We have to say what are the challenges that are getting emerged out of this situation. But before going further, we can add some more thing to get value added marks. Okay, you can add more value. You can give certain examples or case study where simultaneous elections is practiced across the world. Okay, so you can just draw a box in your answer and you can write a case study. Okay, and then you can write, okay, you see in country like South Africa. In South Africa, not just South Africa, in South Africa, the national elections and provincial elections are simultaneously conducted every 5 years. Every 5 years. Okay. And local body elections are conducted, every 2 years. Okay. Similarly, in a country called Sweden, here what is happening? The national elections, the provincial elections and the local elections are simultaneously conducted every 4 years. Okay. And why to go for other countries? You can give example of even India. Okay. In India, the elections in 1952, 1957, 1962, 1967 were simultaneously connected. So see, we have an example from India only, like elections are conducted simultaneously. Okay. So this is a case study that you are mentioning to show that it is feasible. Okay. Now you have to see, you have given always, now you have agreed with the statement, you have given, yes, it would transform into a more stable, efficient and accountable democracy. But see, whenever you agree, it will not excite. You have to disagree also. When you disagree, when you give a counter argument, that adds masala to your answer. Okay. And it is very tasty for the examiner. Okay. And examiner will say it is very delicious, and that examiner will give you more marks. Okay. So see, here in the body. Till now we have covered this part. Okay, this is just, you have just completed 60 to 70% of your answer. Remaining 30% is still left. Okay, now you have to write points for this challenges in the one nation one election system, and that too you need to map to this thing: stable, efficient and accountable democracy. Okay, so what is happening? Despite these things, there are certain inherent challenges that are emerging. Okay, inherent challenges present in the one nation one election, because it has to factor in various factors like defection within political parties. Okay, also emergencies in state or UTs, Union Territories, President rule. You know, recently, just 2 days back, what happened? The President proclaimed President rule in the state of Manipur. Okay, President rule when there is passing of no confidence motion. Okay, these are the situations where you have to prematurely dissolve the central and state governments. Okay, so now to elaborate, okay, how now we will map it to stable democracy, efficient democracy, and what is this? Stable, efficient and accountable democracy. So the challenges that are emerging, okay, the first one under that, stable democracy. Okay, how it is impacting this part, how it will, see, today we are in a coalition politics era. Again we have entered into the era of coalition politics. Okay, so in the era of coalition politics, what happens? There is high political volatility, right? And when there is high political volatility, there is high probability. Probability of what? High probability that there will be premature dissolution. Premature dissolution of what? Premature dissolution of the legislature. Okay. So in this situation, what it is? It is not feasible, though it is desirable, it is not feasible to go for one nation, one election. Okay. Now, regarding the efficiency of democracy. Okay. In efficiency of democracy, you see, when you have to conduct simultaneous election at the level and size of the country India is, what is there? What is the problem? There will be very high logistical burden on the administration. Okay, and it is not feasible. Okay, it is not feasible in the present situation. Now we will talk about how it will it is creating a challenge for accountable democracy. See, at present there are natural checks and balances. Okay, with one nation, one election, the natural checks and balances are getting disturbed. How? You have to substantiate, not just writing this. You need to substantiate. Okay. See how you will substantiate. When there were frequent elections, okay, there was continuous accountability. Suppose if government is not listening to you, government is not acting according to the wishes of the people, what will happen? In the next assembly elections, you will not vote. Suppose next UP elections are there, you will not vote for BJP. Okay. So what happens? You are actually diluting this continuous accountability here. When there was frequent elections, there was continuous accountability. But now under one nation, one election, you are moving towards episodic accountability. That is only once in 5 years. Okay. Also, when there are frequent elections, the politicians, when frequent elections are there, under frequent elections, politicians will be in touch with the pulse of the people. Okay, and this will allow the politicians for course correction. They can correct in what way they are moving. But when you go for one nation, one election, you are eliminating this aspect. Okay. Also, and the present, when there is one nation, one election, you cannot pass no confidence motion. Okay. So see, in this way you are weakening the accountability in the democracy. Okay. So with this, now you have also tackled the second aspect. See what we did? We said that it would transform India. We gave points. Now we gave points in challenges in the one nation, one election system. And all these things we made it by mapping the statement to stable, efficient and accountable democracy. So we are writing what is asked in the question. We are not writing what we know. Okay. We are totally writing what is asked in the question. But now you need to go for the conclusion part. In this conclusion part, you have identified challenges in the one nation, one election system. Okay. Now you need to, so now you have to, like, in the way forward, you will move towards the way forward. In way forward, what you will write? Okay. You will provide certain solutions to overcome this situation, the challenges which we have found. So in the way forward, what you will say? Though, see, the one nation, one election, has logistical, constitutional and democratic challenges. But they have democratic challenges, but these can be overcome. These can be overcome by following the recommendations of Law Commission. Okay. So see, the recommendations also you are giving of what? A legitimate institution called Law Commission. So what it has said, when you are going for this thing, you replace no confidence motion with constructive vote of no confidence by amending rules of Lok Sabha. Okay. What is this constructive vote of no confidence? This is not there in India right now, but you bring it. Okay. What it says is, when you are passing no confidence motion, there should be a ready alternate government. Okay. Constructive vote of no confidence states that only when there is a ready alternate government, then only you can pass no confidence motion. So see, you are, with this what is happening? You are able to bring the present government down, but only when there is a ready alternate government. So you are preserving the accountability to some extent. Okay. There is one more recommendation. See, in a situation of hung assembly, what president or governor should do? They should call the largest party to form government. And if it is not able to form, you conduct all party meeting and decide who will form government. And even then, if government is not formed, go for midterm elections. And go for midterm elections. Then after this, the government that is formed after this election should be in power only for the remainder period, not whole 5 years. Okay, you elect, now there are midterm elections, now you are electing new government, but that government should not be run for 5 years, only the remaining period in the 5 years it should run, so that next time again it can go for simultaneous elections. So in this way we can implement one nation, one election. Okay. So this is how your answer should be. Okay. So this is how your answer, you need to tackle the question. So see, here we have, so this is the end of the answer. Okay. Here we have, what we have done, we have utilized all the knowledge you will gain through self-study program. Okay. All the knowledge you will gain through self-study program, and how to utilize that knowledge to answer the question. And it is not like only through self-study. You can even join our mentorship program directly. Okay. We have our mentorship program, which is of 6 months, which is conducted for a period of 6 months and 7 months. Okay. These are the two variants of mentorship program we are conducting. In this mentorship program, we will provide you support for both prelims and mains. Okay. And any other academic related support. We will provide you the guidance how to tackle each and every aspect of the syllabus. Okay. So just an illustration. So as a student, what are the biggest questions you have? Can I conduct my preparation with consistency and discipline? Can you conduct whether you can or not. Okay. If you are not able to, okay, you see, you need a mentor who can guide you. Okay. That mentor will ensure that you will prepare with consistency and discipline. Okay. Mentor will give you time bound targets and you will be in a position to achieve time bound targets. You will be accountable. If you are preparing by yourself, you are accountable to yourself. Okay. But are you accountable in a better way? Are you diluting the accountability of you to yourself? Then if you are in the mentorship batch, what will happen? You will be accountable to the mentor. You have to write the exam, you have to get good marks, you need to progress. Okay. So, and you will be in a position to execute all the tasks with high precision. Okay. And there are some other questions also that you will be there. All those questions will have solution in our mentorship program. Okay. So what we are providing in mentorship? In mentorship, there will be a mentor who will be your guide and philosopher. Okay. That mentor will give you a schedule with time bound targets that within this period you need to complete it. Okay. So there will be a check on you, and whatever the targets that is given to you, that will be checked through examination. We will conduct examination, weekly examinations, and we will track your progress. So, and what is the ultimate benefit to you as student? Okay, you will get exposure to the entire syllabus. See, you cannot have one size fits all approach. You cannot read geography in a certain way. You can read geography in the same way you cannot read polity, in the same way you cannot tackle internal security. Okay, for each subject you need a different strategy. Okay, for that you will be exposed to entire syllabus, and in all the syllabus, different parts of the syllabus, your mentor will tell you how to approach that particular part of the syllabus. Okay. Then you see preliminary examination. What happens in a preliminary examination? Okay, there is a lot of uncertainty involved in preliminary examination. The questions that are asked are not known to you. Most of the questions you would have studied for long, but directly when you see those questions, you are not in a position to think. Okay, to tackle those kind of questions, you need to develop a line of thought. Okay, you need to develop, in my way, I say, a bureaucratic common sense. Okay, when you apply that bureaucratic common sense in that preliminary examination, you will be in a position to tackle that preliminary question. Okay, and what we aim here to develop that bureaucratic common sense in you. Okay. So next, this we have displayed answer writing skill for mains examination, and ultimately what we follow is, as Amartya Sen says, capability approach. We develop your capability. We develop your capability to tackle the civil services examination. Okay. So this is what is our mentorship program. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me through the chat. Okay. So, Sushri, want to have screenshot every page of discussed today? Sushri, want to have the screenshot of every page of answers discussed? Can you please page for 10 seconds, sir, please? Okay. Sushri. Okay, we will upload these pages. Okay, we will provide you. Sir, currently I am in my 4th year of Pharma D, which is a 6 years course. In the month of May, June, I have my summer vacation. So how can I plan these 2 months? Is it correct to complete my optional anthropology in this month, or should I go for reading the... Sweta, did you complete your anthropology course previously, or you want to take anthropology course in this batch? Can you tell me? In the upcoming batch. So see, till you have to take the course, right? So your course will start in June. Till that time, if you are preparing for general studies, see, your preparation for general studies will form a base for your optional also. Okay, when you are good at general studies, it will what it will do is you will be in a better position to understand optional also. So if you can start GS mentorship, it is fine. It will increase your answer writing capability, your thinking capability, your understandability of the concepts. Okay, so it's better if you start now only. I would suggest you to start now itself. See, the PDF has been given, GS mentorship. Any other doubts, students? Alina, is it okay if we don't take GS coaching and take test series? See, if you don't take GS coaching and take test series, if you are not taking GS coaching, how you will gain the knowledge? Okay, without having the knowledge of all the subjects, how can you tackle test series, right? So first you need to understand, you need to gain the knowledge, what each subject, what is the content in each subject, then you should go and solve the test series, okay? It is not advisable to directly take test series without coaching or GS preparation. First thing is you need to complete your GS preparation, then only you should go for test series. Is that okay, Alina? Okay, then we will close the session. Thank you for the participation. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can contact us. You can contact Sosinais Academy. We will provide further assistance. Okay, thank you. You can contact on this number that has been provided. Okay, thank you, Sushri. Thank you.